We are into the seventh day of the conflict, and we've heard Kherson, another city in Ukraine where Russian troops have arrived, and we've also seen bombarding in the cities of Kharkiv as well. In Kiev, civilians are taking up their defenses, and many are hoping that this conflict ends soon. We speak to one of the volunteers in Kiev who speaks to us, and we begin the conversation by asking him about the latest on the ground.
So the capital is safe. Itself is pretty safe at this point, but there are fights ongoing all around the capital in the neighboring small cities and towns. The capital was bombed tonight and all the previous day. The situation is pretty much controlled around the capital. Russian troops are taking heavy losses, but it's still not over.
And talk to us about the situation with the morale of the people in Kiev, because we've seen some taking into bomb shelters. You know, there's always reports and videos circulating across the internet. What's the public morale at the moment like?
The nation itself is very, very united. Everyone is trying to help any way they can. There are a lot of volunteer organizations, a lot of chats and groups in social media offering help for free, offering shelter, offering free transportation, food, apartment, anything you need, you can get that help. The morale is high and people believe that we are winning, and I guess that's partially true.
Now, how has life changed? You know, it's such a terrible situation to see such a peaceful, such a wonderful, beautiful city, Kiev, that we've all known of, to now see bombardments there and a city being quiet. So what's life like for you as a person and an individual now?
So the Kiev is deserted. A lot of people left. If you walk out on the street in the evening, most of the windows would be dark. So I guess it's around maybe 20-30% people left here. A lot of roads are blocked to prevent possible moving of Russian troops. Lots of dock posts which might check your ID. There are huge lines in the stores in general. So if you want to buy food, it takes a lot of time to gather, and the prices have gone up. Not as much as they have in the cities near the border, but Kiev is struggling with supply as well.
And I'd like to touch upon the aspect of who's fighting and who's taking up arms, because we've heard civilians have been provided arms. What's the reality? Are they all trained? Are they all just general civilians who've just picked up arms and standing at checkpoints? What's the ground reality?
The military part is fighting Russian troops, but there are a lot of touristic activities, marauders, and different diversions going on. So there is civilian defense to deal with that, to catch people who try to bring chaos from the inside. That's their main. They patrol the city. They try to prevent any robberies.
We saw reports of the tractor taking on the tank. How true is that story, and what's the story behind that?
There is a lot of civilians. There are a lot of civilians who want to join the fight, and basically every person is trying to do wherever they can. There are a lot of videos as like civilians burning down tanks with just Molotov cocktails, with baseball bats or something. So this is insane. People are blocking the road. They're taking away Russian equipment, Russian tanks, as you say. There is a lot of this kind of stuff going on. So I believe the tractor stealing tank is pretty much true.
And what's your end goal? You speak about the stopping the war. Talk to us about the general people's perception. They must be furious with the conflict at the moment. But what do they hope for? Because to take on such a massive military force such as Russia is next to impossible. We've seen that the Western countries have been a little bit more, quite hesitant to engage militarily. What do you hope to achieve?
Well, as of now, we believe that we are actually winning the war. Today, Ukrainian troops went for the first time in a week, did the counterattack. So we're moving forward on some parts of our country. And the reports say that we are actually doing pretty well. Is Russia expected to capture Kiev in 3 days, but we're still holding on. So the general sort of morale is pretty high, and people believe in our country, and we believe in our forces, and we want to help.
Alex, thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you, safety and well-being for you and the entire residents in Kiev. And we hope that you have a peaceful night eventually, and the conflict does come to an end.